Hello, Sedrik and Sidra here, CR Wrestling Commentary, and today we will be going over NWA Power. And this one, you can see it on YouTube. I suggest that everyone check it out if you can. You know, don't sleep on NWA. And it says, Matt Cardona returns to Power, and Davey Boy Jr., Doug Williams defend the tag team titles. So you don't have to scroll down for me to read the rest, but it doesn't really matter because you'll be able to see it when you go to it yourself. So this starts off with, Matt Cardona comes out and he cites that he wasn't pinned or submitted and that the world champ, he's still the real world champion. He also, he put over Chelsea Green saying how dangerous she is and whatnot.
Of course he did. Got to sleep with her.
And then he unveils, you got to go home to that, right?
Yeah.
So he also unveils that what he was promised was a return title match. That's what he was promised, and that will be, they already stated and slated and etched it in stone that it will be against Trevor Murdoch. So it's going to be difficult for them to run title matches or seemingly legit title matches against Trevor Murdoch when it's already slated that months down the line it's going to be him versus Matt Cardona. And doing it that way, the truth is all the other stuff shouldn't have been done. What should have been done instead of that 4-way at the pay-per-view, they should have simplistically say, look, you four will wrestle each other. The winner will get the title match, the next title match. But Cardona keeps the belt until he's able to wrestle and actually defend it. He's not going to be out for like a year or anything, so it's all good. I mean, in hindsight, that's hindsight.
Of course, they could change it, and I hope that they do.
If they change titles in between, that would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would be really, really cool. Which is like what they did for what they did on AEW, and it was like, hey, Adam Page was like, I want my title match. I want a title match against the IWGP heavyweight champion Okada Kazuchika. And Cole is like, you don't even know if he's going to be champion. You don't even know if he's going to be champion. It could be Switchblade Jay White, which it was, which I think it needed to be. It sucks though. Adam Cole suffered a concussion and stuff. They said that the drop kick gave it to him. But when it comes to that ducking that clothesline, the the return clothesline, they call the Rainmaker, he jarred his head. He shook his head ducking, and that's when it hit him big time. And that's when he went down. So I'm sure AEW botches and whatnot probably think back on it and say, crap,
I want to wish Adam Cole all the best. He should go home and spend the next 6 months resting, recuperating, and making sure his brain is tip top. 8 months. Give it a year. Take your time.
I sense underhandedness in what you just said.
Oh no. I wish him well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next match is a tag team match. Not next match, but the first match is Mr. Tate and Genocide versus Max the Impaler and Chelsea Green. Look, I like Max the Impaler. Look, she did an amazing, awesome job at expressing. I don't know anything about tag team.
Yeah, she did.
Chef's kiss on that. 5-star performance. Yes, out of her element. She did right. She did the right thing. That's what you do. Everything she did, like, I ain't grabbing the tag rope. I'm just going to tag and get in. No, I'm going to get in and then tag.
Yeah.
And then she grabbed the tag rope and looked at the ref like, I'm doing this thing you want me to do.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love it. Early on in the match, though, this was awesome. Cazadora, it was Misa and Max. It was the Cazadora body splash, okay, or Cazadora splash, and that was on Chelsea's knees. not Chelsea's, but it was on Missa. Wait a minute.
Misa Tate splashed Chelsea's knees.
Okay, all right. It's not my writing. I got everything in a weird order here, and I spoke backwards, so that's my bad. Hey, we're professionals, right? So, but yeah, and that was on Chelsea's knees. Look, most times they hit, roll off like yeah, whatnot. But no, she sold that. She hit them knees with her abdomen, and she's like, my guts.
I don't think she was selling. She was probably hurt. That abdomen was exposed.
Yeah.
Splat.
So, whether it's legit or not, it was the right thing to do. Because there are people that take legit shots and don't sell it at all. Wrestlers get suplexed on their head, break their neck, and get up like ain't nothing wrong. Broken neck, keep going. And then so kudos to Mr. Tate on that one.
That's why I couldn't be a wrestler. I'd be like, oh no, something's wrong. Stop the show. Commentator, shut up. Airlift me out. No, open up the roof. Get me this trauma center. No, I don't care about the ratings. Get me the fuck to safety.
And now it's explicit.
And that's what.
I'll try to do this without swearing. I'll try to do this without swearing, and she just.
I'm sorry.
Max. No, I'm not bleeping this out because it's real. Max does a good hair whip onto Chelsea into a cannonball onto Misa Tate in the corner. I thought that was cool.
She used her as a blunt object.
But then Max later, she gets the win. She got the Canadian backbreaker drop, and she pinned Tate. Mm-hmm. So, good job. It's not a team that's going to stay, but it was entertaining.
And she took Misa Tate's wristband
as
a trophy.
She took a trophy.
When she comes out, she's got like pom-poms that she's taking off of other wrestlers hanging on her vest as,
Yeah, she's got other stuff.
As the spoils of war.
So, after this, Rodney Mack is interviewed, and he says he's got remotivated. He wants to destroy everybody on the roster. He's reinvigorated. And says you'll find out soon who that is.
Who's responsible for the reinvigoration?
So after that, there's a junior three-way match. So it's Sal the Pal, PJ Hawks, and Gustavo Aguilar. So I'll be honest with you, it's one of them hectic matches all over the place, but it all made sense. So it's not silly, it's not dumb. It's a three-way that flowed very nice.
Yeah, it was good. It looked good.
And in this three-way, these lightweights get this show, and it showed I appreciate a ring like this. When they hit, you can see the ring cave in. It's not a flat board. So they don't just hit and splat. They hit, it looks like impact. So it's amazing. That's what the NWA was really good at. It's safer on the wrestlers, and at the same time, it shows impact. It shows power. So that's great. I always like a ring like this. But Sal, he hit a move that he calls, and I think this is what he calls it, the Lost Love. And it looked like it's going to be a Crash Thunder Buster, but then it like he transitions to like it's going to be a Michinoku driver, but he doesn't flip the opponent. He just drops the opponent straight down, almost right on their head in a very awkward position. But looking at it, first time seeing it, I was like, okay, I see where it's safe, and the opponent has to figure out how they're going to take it without messing themselves up. But
it was kind of nasty.
It looked nasty. It could be a good finisher. I'm not sure. I'm still judging because certain moves, it only takes a subtle mess up and it's all over. And those are the moves that you don't want to allow in your company. Those are the ones you need to just nope, we don't do those. Just no. But PJ Hawks, he got the submission on Sal with what they call the Hawks clutch, which honestly, a seated bridging Texas torture leaf. Texas clover hold seated on the opponent's back.
Yeah.
Bending them up in every which way but Thursday.
I mean, yeah, that was nasty too. So, I like it.
Yeah. It was a nice move. It's like almost like the trailer hitch, almost just a scissor leg version. So then, hold up, let me go back. No, I must have wrote it. It must be at the top. Oh, nope, never mind, my bad. So La Rebellion, they explain why they're getting a return match tonight for the tag titles, saying that Harry Smith was in the ring like 45 seconds. And in tag team rules, or traditional that is, 5 count disqualified if you stay in. So you got a 4 count to be in that ring. You have to get out. When you stay in that ring too long, obviously it's disqualification, but it also gives your team the 2-on-1 advantage throughout. So that makes it unfair. In tag team wrestling, they try to balance things so that it's fair. 5 seconds for being in the ring. And after you attack the opponent for breaking up, usually you have to get out the ring. Sometimes you can stay 5 seconds in or however long it is, depending upon the ref's discretionary count. So he's saying that with that advantage, Mecha Wolf was saying, we're going to get a rematch and it's going to be Lucha Rules. Lucha Rules in general, although they didn't explain it up here at all, not that I heard of anyway, but the Lucha Rules is basically the match can start, jump start, or not. But traditional Lucha Rules is when the opponent is knocked out of the ring, the tag partner can get in without a tag. Keep the people in the ring at all costs. Keep the action going no matter what. There's no tag needed. Opponents can be in the ring for an extended amount of time, usually what we would call a 10 or 15 count, or until the opponent that came in to help gets knocked down, then they have to get out. That's usually how the Lucha Rules have gone over my years of watching it, regardless of what has been explained or not. There's a lot of things that can go into play with that. So, okay, we're going to look for that. So we get to the next match. Adorable Anthony Andrews versus Rodney Mack, who comes out with Aaron Stevens, who was saying that his swan song, he's going to leave and go to Brazil with May. And
that didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen. Maybe May said, I'm staying. I got to get monies. And he was like, all right, I'll stay too. I don't know. Let's just make something up and go with it. But the match was back and forth. It was a good match. It was a heavy hitting match.
Velvet said that Aaron had his manager's license,
which was, yeah. I'm like, what's he gonna do? Mm-hmm. But hey, if it's his last match, then technically he didn't lie.
True.
He's not in that ring. He's not wrestling. He's gonna be a manager. So we'll just see how that goes. But Rodney, he ultimately won this match with the Cobra Clutch. And Scissors, I forgot what he calls it, the Red Dog, or no, he is the Red Dog.
He is the Red Dog. I don't know what he calls it.
I'm not sure what he calls it. So forgive me, fans. Please don't hate on me. But at the end of the match, Aaron Stevens, he gets out and he's looking at Anthony Andrews and just kind of like judging him. And my assumption is that Rodney will wrestle and beat down, but then Aaron will definitely judge to see how they're handling it or
assess their viability
for a group that he may form. Rodney Mack being the forefront of this group, you're going to want somebody that can support that person, but yet maybe not tag team with them, depending upon what your needs are. So we'll just have to see how they go with that. So then we get to the National Wrestling Alliance Tag Team Championship match featuring La Rebellion versus the Commonwealth Connection, Lucha Rules. And the match went as it would technically go. It was back and forth. They did great moves. Luckily, in this, La Rebellion did not use any of the other moves. They didn't use them, so there was no screw-ups or whatnot.
Yeah, that top rope move that had been giving them so much trouble.
Yep. And so this match, it had a nice flow. Both teams showed up. Both teams shined. No one was making a mistake. Mecca Wolf kept kicking them in their head, and Harry eventually broke up the pin and got out the way. It's like, I see you coming. I know what you're going to do. I know what you're going to do. So that was all good. I like seeing stuff like that. Little, subtle, tiny things. Great. But then the match comes to the conclusion where Mecca Wolf does a tope suicida on the Doug, removing himself from the ring. Harry takes advantage of that, Harry Smith, and he uses the Oklahoma Stampede or the running bulldog power slam onto Bestia. Yeah, not his dad, but him. Bestia says, and gets the 1, 2, 3, retaining those beautiful tag team belts. They're beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed this event. It's rare. It's going to be rare for me to not like an NWA event. They know what they're doing. It'd be nice if they just kept this format, kept it how it is, got some, a few more permanent contracts, and then expanded a little more national. Instead of just, keep it off YouTube and not keep it off, but don't pigeonhole yourself to YouTube and whatnot.
Because they premiere it on Fight.
Yeah. So they graduated from Fight to YouTube. That almost sounds like Fight is bad.
No. They graduated from YouTube to Fight.
You sure that because that's where you said they started on Fight?
No, I said no. It airs on Fight first.
Okay, so it airs on Fight, then it goes to YouTube.
Yes,
but it doesn't go anywhere else. I'm sure somewhere in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, they got it on Syndicate TV somewhere there.
Yeah, because it's in their studio.
Yeah, I really like this. I don't want NWA to falter back to where it was 15 years ago. I want it to stay prominent. I want to get back to where it should have, been all along, which is the forefront of what professional wrestling needs to look like and whatnot. I really do wish them, great prosperity, despite the ills that has happened and will not be corrected. I still want them as a company, from their format and style of wrestling, to prosper. I like this. It's always a breath of fresh air from seeing, the modern wrestling and whatnot. It's good to see wrestling as it was meant to be. And with that, I want to thank y'all for your time, patience, and energy and listening to us. Please support us on Spreaker. This has been Sedrik and Sidra for CRS and commentary on NWA Power. And with that, y'all take care. See you next time.